It's amazing to me that we don't think more about the end of our life.
A lot of people don't know what they're going to face until they have it happen in their own home.
It's part of what we expect when we commit to a loving relationship, that at some point that relationship may end and we're going to feel the pain on the other side of it.
A lot of people think that children will just get over it, especially the younger they are.
I always say, you know, death can bring out the best or the worst in a family.
There's, I think, a drive within most of us to make a difference in people's lives.
I just had total faith that Hope Hospice was going to get me through this.
And I can't think of a more loving and caring staff than the staff at Hope Hospice to help you through that difficult time.
As a nurse, I had two experiences which deeply moved how I thought about ways to take care of the dying. One was once when I was working on a floor where all the cancer patients were. There was two young ladies that died within 1 week on the shift where I was working. And one of them was from out of state, and she had a large banner above her bed that said, "God loves you and so do we." And it was signed by over 100 people of her neighbors and her friends there. But yet when she died alone. She died in pain. Her family was not there. I remember as I grieved over those deaths that there was a little part of me and little spirit inside of my heart that said, there has to be a better way.
We're in a society that basically we respect people who look good rather than how they feel. And so when people go through a loss, I think they feel more isolated because everyone around them wants them to feel better right away, and they don't. And so they try to keep up with their jobs and keep up with the relationships in their families, and it's a lot of stress, and they get very scared and they don't know where to turn.
My mom actually came on service in February of '06. I was a single mom, and she was kind of my partner in raising my children. And so we have a very tight bond, still do. So we were sitting there, and I laid my head on her chest and was just, you know, laying there thinking about her. And I said, I can do this. From what I've learned through Hope Hospice, I know I can get through this, and I am supposed to do this, and I can. I crawled into bed with my mother, laid beside her, put my mouth to her ear, and just held her. And I just kept saying, we love you, we miss you, you can let go, and I will hold you as long as I can. I can take you only so far, but I will be here through the, you know, up as far as I can go with you. I just kept telling her all those things, and she just finally just stopped breathing. And I knew she was gone. There was no doubt. It was as if, you know, she was alive 1 minute, and then the spirit was, her soul was in her body 1 minute and gone the next. And I just had total faith that Hope Hospice was going to get me through this and allow me to guide my mother through her process. And that's what I want to educate people on that I meet in the community, that we will be there for them.
The admissions process is when patients first come to Hope Hospice, and it's the beginning of hope for their lives, because we come at a time when they've been fighting an illness or disease for a long period of time, and the doctors have determined that the disease can no longer be cured, and that it's really time to stop fighting it in the sense for a curative purpose, but to just try comfort only. So we come in and we give our patients hope in that we will fight the disease for them and with them, and that we will control their symptoms, and we will give them their life back.
Every volunteer that I know will tell you that we get more than we give. What I've learned through our hospice educational and training and through my experience as a volunteer is it's not about dying, it's about living.
We believe that there needs to be as much care given to someone in the last 6 months of their life as there certainly was in the first 6 months of their life. That's a time of nurturing. That's a time where people need undivided attention and where they need gentleness and quietness, and those are forming times, and that's the same way at the end of life.
My family and I became involved with Hope Hospice because of my husband, Reggie. Reggie was one of those pillar of the community type men, a wonderful husband and father. And at age 57, we found out he was dying of cancer. In the last weeks of his life, he was in the hospital, emaciated and weak from chemotherapy, unable to help himself, in very much pain. And my two sons and I wanted to take him home. That was when Hope Hospice came alongside us and brought their full team of chaplains, social workers, medical personnel to deal with all the needs, not just my husband's, but those of our entire family. And Reggie was able to spend his last days at home where he wanted to be. Family members came from long distances and were able to visit with him, spend some time with him before he passed. And he passed at home peacefully, surrounded by those he loved. And we all got a chance to say goodbye. And the memories of that are so precious to us because we were able to hold his hand and talk to him and reassure him, tell him it was okay, that we were fine, that he could let go, that we'd be all right.